Hey everybody, and welcome back to another War-Torn Future video. Unfortunately, since they rolled out the game yesterday, we got most of our admirals deleted and have to start with fresh ones. But we did get some new things for the Imperial Navy here, which is pretty cool. We got the melta torpedoes and the Widowmaker's destroyer. Now, the Widowmaker's destroyer, the benefit to it is this 10,000 kilometer detection range. Awesome for reconnaissance. I might actually use this destroyer now. On top of it, its base speed is 225, super fast, light. The key to using this guy is to have your long range light cruisers able to take advantage of that detection range. Okay, so he's going to be you're going to be able to lose this guy relatively quick if you're not careful on the micro. So and another thing we got are these awesome melta torpedoes. Now, the melta torpedoes will cause fires when they hit the target, which is pretty useful. And I guess they added this to make up for the fact that, you know, the orcs have two different types of torpedoes, and their torpedoes are pretty effective at getting criticals on larger ships. So other than that, everything's just basically about the same. I went ahead and mirrored our previous build from the last video, and so let's get a game in. Okay, so it looks like a mirror match. So we're gonna go for these two, and it looks like, oh no, I'm sorry. Let's go with our lance guy here. Actually, we don't need the range as much. I'm gonna go with him. So 2 Mark IIs. We got 32 points left. Unfortunately, we couldn't pick up an escort in this match, but looks like it's gonna be hopefully a 2v2, almost mirror match, if anything. Okay, no terrain to aid us on our side of the field. They got some decent stuff over there, so just gonna start it off in a line formation here, and ready. Okay, so it looks like he probably brought 1 cruiser and 3 escorts to the game.
Ship ready.
So we're going to go ahead and fire a spread of melta torpedoes.
Awaiting orders.
And actually, I'm going to want to try and pull them away from all that and just do a open fight clear over here. Additionally, instead of closing the distance with them, this is going to give me a better chance to get more torpedoes at them and hopefully cause some damage. So as this cooldown comes on, you bring your guys
awaiting
there
orders
with their prow, and then you want to line up the shot and lead the target. And you're going to want to lead it by a lot.
Ship ready.
You want to kind of try to drag them up.
Your orders?
And I'm going to try and force him to actually close with me. Like I said, I want to buy myself as much time as possible to hopefully get some early damage in with those torpedo spreads. So we'll see if anything hits. He's probably doing the same thing. So it's kind of like 2 boxers dancing around each other right now. Not the most exciting thing, but again, it doesn't pay often to just rush headlong into the enemy. So it looks like we might get a couple hits here. Yeah, it looks like, yep, that's a hit. Let's see. Looks like this will be a hit too. Awesome. Okay, so our cooldowns have ended, and it looks like they're light cruisers right here. 2 destroyers. I don't know what the other guy is, but we're going to...
At your command.
We're going to try and catch these guys with our spreads, and we're gonna kind of run into these torpedoes and try to just
Ship
completely
ready.
avoid them. And now I feel like I'm okay with
Enemy
closing
ship
the distance.
sighted.
So I'm probably gonna get that on the front armor, not a big deal.
Awaiting orders.
That on the rear.
Your orders?
So now we're gonna offset him. He's gonna either have to maneuver away from that or not, and
Your orders.
I'm gonna have to maneuver away from this.
At your command. Enemy ship sighted.
So hopefully we get, yep, there we go. Good stuff. So we got them at a
Awaiting
disadvantage
orders.
right now. We are laying into this dude. So we got his escorts trapped.
At your command. Yes, sir. Ship ready.
We're gonna avoid his torpedoes. We're gonna bring this guy within range here. We battered him pretty good already. I'm gonna brace for impact, so we avoid all those macro rounds from his escorts.
Your orders?
Your orders.
And this guy clearly doesn't know what he's doing.
Damage
He's
teams,
gonna do,
begin repairs now.
repairs, and I'm gonna keep letting this guy just broadside these escorts in the back because
Yes, Admiral.
the fight here is going pretty well for me. I'm gonna burn retros, turn right, and then get up in there with a ram or attempted ram, and then just fire into his weak back armor. He's going through the asteroid field again to my advantage. He's doing damage to himself.
Awaiting
And now I'm going
orders.
to focus fire again. I'm going to try and get these guys to the asteroid field. They
Awaiting
might be able
orders.
to bracket me here with the torpedoes from his destroyers if he's paying attention to his cooldowns.
Ship
Not a big
ready.
deal. I'm just going to boost him out of there,
Yes, Admiral.
and we're safe again. Now I'm not using my torpedoes very much because like I said before, your broadside batteries are where it's at. That's where you're going to do most of your damage. Okay, it looks like he struck his own target or his own ship with the Meltas. Good for me.
At your command.
Bad for him. I'm going to try and get off the ram here. And boom, just
Ship
shattered
ready.
that escort. Shit. He's going to try and jump.
Your
Probably going
orders.
to make it. Let me see if I can taunt him or cancel. Ah, brother, he will do no big deal.
Your orders?
Yeah, he escapes. That's okay. Crippled 3 ships, so that's gonna be extra renown. I should have taunted him earlier,
Admiral.
but that was my mistake, not paying attention. And now I'm just gonna shatter his last escort and then him out to the void. And there you go, quick victory. Good stuff. His escort choice would have been more effective if he'd been using his torpedoes right, and if he had kept his Firestorm frigate back to hammer me with those lances. What I think where he really messed up is instead of having his escorts turn and kind of focus fire on my other cruiser, he kind of had them flying around in the rear behind his, not really doing a whole lot. So again, when you have a lot of escorts, it's important to manage who they're targeting and what it is that you want to do with them. So let's see if we can get another game in here. And let's spend those crew points. Now, I'm going to go ahead, and I usually go for Master Gunner, but I just never see the criticals I want come out of this. So we're going to go with Servitors for right now on both these guys. It's gonna lower our cooldown time, and that's gonna help us out a lot. Now we did get some new skills as well. Ship speed plus 25 deactivates special maneuvers on a critical damage. Well, which is pretty cool. I might end up getting that, to be honest, because speed is so important on these ships. And we also additionally got the short burn torpedoes, which means you get a plus 50% speed improvement on them. Helps you get them on target faster, helps you do more damage. And I think we are going to get... honestly, I think we're going to go for the speed on our light cruisers here. I want them to be fast. I want them to get in the enemy's face, and the ability to the ability to, it looks like you get to just ignore, your engines just lose the ability to do the special maneuvers, which is not a big deal, especially compared to losing your engines and being basically at a standstill. So that's actually a pretty cool upgrade there. So it looks like we're going to be going up against orcs, and honestly, I'm going to go again for the same lineup. I want to really get these Mark IIs up there in veterancy as quickly as possible, get them well upgraded and well crewed so that we can do damage with them later in conjunction with our larger ships, our cruisers. So it looks like it's these guys again, the terrible twosome. And again, I'm going to try and do the same thing against these orcs that I did with the previous guy. Okay, lots of nebulae on this map. One asteroid field, it looks like, in my playing field. And I'm going to try and get them over here where they can take less advantage of all that terrain. And let's see where they deploy. Now, who knows what this guy's going to throw at me. I haven't had a very good track record right now of, since the updates have come out, of knowing what fleet compositions I'm going to be dealing with.
Awaiting
so
orders.
To me, it looks like 2 cruisers and an escort. No big deal.
That's your command.
Fought this before a million times, but hopefully we'll see what they got in store for us. And I'm going to try and get these fire crews. And again, I'm going to turn away and buy myself some more time as my weapons reload in order to get another spread. He's already, in my opinion, messing up because he hasn't returned fire with his boarding torpedoes. And unless the boarding torpedoes have been really nerfed or removed, which I doubt, that's the first mistake as an orc player. If you're not shooting, spam firing those boarding torpedoes, you are wrong. So here we go. We're going to maneuver around this space station here. Pretty cool looking. Looks like a chaos space station, but I don't know. At least with that ring. Might just be docking rings or something. But that's fluffy nerd stuff. Don't worry about it.
At your command.
Okay, coming around for another bracket. And this time we're gonna try and mess up this line.
Awaiting orders.
Coming right at us. Okay, so there you go. He's finally firing his torpedoes. Looks like here are his 2 light cruisers, his escort. It looks like he's hiding them now. No, he's behind the little eye thing.
Yes, Admiral.
We're going to get out of there. So I think the next upgrade for these guys is going to be the short burn torpedoes, so that we can get that increase in speed, and hopefully my ships are going to avoid it. Masterfully done. And I'm going to swing back around the station and just keep exchanging fire with this guy. So for him, what he should be doing instead of doing these lateral moves across the phase lines here is trying to get to me. Looks like we got a hit there. Hopefully that gave him a fire. So not really sure. Not really sure what his plans are here, but. Again,
Awaiting orders.
the guy's clearly an asshole too, so keep that in mind.
Your orders.
And I'm just gonna make this guy.
Your
break through
orders?
there.
Ship ready.
And so now what I'm going to do is try to break on his left over here with both my light cruisers and effectively get my broadside,
Awaiting
all my
orders.
broadsides onto one target early on, and hoping that that does considerable amount of damage. So let's do this to them right here,
At your command.
and then we're gonna give them our broadsides.
Enemy ship sighted.
Activating tactical cogitators.
Yeah, this is one of those tools that likes to.
Ship ready.
Boom.
Activating tactical cogitators.
And I'm going to give this guy brace for impact and give this guy lock on target, and we're going to lay
Yes, Admiral.
waste here. We're going to go ahead and boost our guys through this, because this shield should collapse.
Activating tactical cogitators.
Enemy ship sighted.
Your orders.
Big deal.
Feel the wrath of the Imperial Navy.
Yes, Admiral.
I'm going to have to switch him because his
Activating tactical cogitators.
starboard side weapons got destroyed. So-
At your command.
and it should only get one.
Awaiting orders.
Burn retro.
Your orders. Damage teams begin repairs now.
And attempted ram. Gosh, not doing a whole lot of damage here.
Ship ready.
Let's try and get them within 3,000. Both our guys within 3,000 kilometers here.
Awaiting orders.
And
Activating tactical cogitators.
I'm really sure I didn't do damage there, but
At your command.
go ahead and try and ram this.
At your command.
Your orders.
Ship ready.
So hopefully
Your
this
orders?
pattern engine will help us out here. Gosh, it looks like he was able to get both of my
Ship
turrets,
ready.
which is upsetting on this ship because he's effectively not useful to me at all, except for
Yes,
absorbing
Admiral.
damage right now. Stop right there before we get torpedoed. There we go. We got one fire. on him.
Awaiting orders.
And I'm just gonna use this guy to soak up damage right now.
Yes, Admiral.
Brace for impact. The navigator will guide us out.
I hit that by mistake. Yeah.
Warp engines
Wow,
active.
now if I can. No, of course not.
Your orders.
Let's see if we can't isolate both these
Ship
dummies.
ready. Awaiting orders. At your command.
There we go. Got them both trapped. I'm gonna try a ram here. There we go. Good job.
Ship
That's
ready.
one ship down. Okay.
Yes, Admiral.
Activating tactical cogitators.
Initiate emergency repairs.
Activating tactical cogitators.
Okay, not sure how that didn't count. Rams.
Awaiting orders.
Ship ready.
Awesome, generators destroyed. So now I'm gonna try and focus fire on this guy.
Your
Get
orders.
more criticals.
Your orders.
If I can. This guy's virtually useless now because all his weapons got destroyed.
Yes, Admiral.
And I'm going to actually try and get further and further away from these dudes if possible. Try to get a full spread of the melted torpedoes. This dude right here.
At your command.
Awaiting orders.
Again, not totally sure why those didn't detonate and actually cause a fire.
Awaiting orders.
Well. So now at this
At your
point,
command.
I'm just gonna try and get myself in the stasis field where all their weapons will be slowed down and then warp out. Because it'll be to my benefit.
Awaiting orders.
To be in it. It's kind of
Warp engines
serves as a
active.
protective field when you're this far in. It's not going to be so much so for this dude. Because when projectiles are going through here, they get slowed down.
Activating tactical cogitators.
Oh my god.
Ship ready.
As you can see, those boarding torpedoes, main concern against orcs, especially.
Yes,
And
Admiral.
we're gonna see if we can get them both in there and get ourselves
Activating
out.
tactical cogitators.
Your orders?
And once we're on the other side of this station, okay, I don't.
Activating tactical cogitators. The navigator will guide us out.
So he might have trapped this guy and destroyed him or crippled him.
At your command.
I'm not 100% sure what's going on with some of these rams I've tried to initiate in the game. It seems like I'm just bouncing off them. Maybe I'm not lining them up perfectly, but
Lock on target.
as you can see, those boarding criticals is what really does it to you against these wars. It's really the best part of it.
The flagship has been destroyed.
So as you can see, it being, I guess this is just heavy damage, so it's only going to be one turn, and I'm totally willing to do that. So it used to be much more expensive to do priority repairs, like 25 renown. So for 5, not that big of a deal. So let's go back into another game. Oh, it looks like we're going up against the Eldar. This will be interesting. It's been a while since we fought any Eldar, so remember their main weakness is the fragility of their ships. So I'm gonna go with Taunt guy here for my main, for my flagship. But I am gonna take a lot of escorts on this particular mission. I'm going to take one Widowmaker, and I'm going to take a couple, actually I want to take sword frigates, because they're able to put out the most DPS. Actually, let's go with the Firestorm combo there. Okay, so torpedoes are going to be key here, ramming is going to be key here, if we can set up rams, because like I said, these ships, at least in the previous beta, were like paper mache basically, And also, it'll probably be to our benefit to try to fight around some of these asteroid fields, if possible, and try to get them to stray in there. So we're gonna set up our escorts in a wing to the right here. And we're gonna play.
Your orders.
It looks like it's 2 light cruisers.
Ship ready.
We might be looking at
Helm
either
coordinates
2
acknowledged.
carriers or 2 pulsar and torpedo combination here.
At your command.
Which is my favorite, is to have 2 pulsar equipped ones. I forget what the ships are called, but they have 2 pulsars and then torpedo bay. Very micro heavy, but gosh,
Changing
they do
course.
so much damage that they're basically glass cannons in that regard. So we're gonna set this
Awaiting
guy up.
orders.
6K forward firing arc, U 6K sides. Actually, yeah.
Ship ready.
Orders received.
I'm gonna put out another spread of torpedoes. Let's see if we get a lucky hit.
Yes, Admiral. Underway.
And I'm gonna try and really aim these back.
Awaiting orders.
So if we get this
Setting
dude out here,
course.
we'll be able to target him. This is the benefit of the Widowmaker, is you're able
Enemy
to
ship
really
sighted.
get out there and identify enemy ships.
For the Emperor.
Now it looks like he's got one of these is a carrier, the other one is a straight up
Engines to maximum.
DPS monster.
Awaiting
So-
orders.
Your orders.
So I'm gonna try and set up a ram here. Okay, now
At your command.
I'll get my turret destroyed already. And we're gonna
Feel
taunt
the
them, and
wrath
then
of the
we're gonna set up
Imperial
a ram.
Navy. We are the Imperial Navy.
I don't know why my guy is
Understood.
turning. Jesus Christ.
Ship ready.
Fucking worthless.
Course plotted.
Same thing with these dudes.
Ship
These
ready. Brace for impact.
Either way, we still did a lot of damage to them.
Yes, Admiral.
Target locked in.
These guys are really pissing me off.
Awaiting
Looks like
orders.
we might get a couple turret fires. Yep. No damage. I guess
Yes,
it's only
Admiral.
got a chance to cause damage with those.
Engaging.
We're also going to try and get roaming action on these dudes because they are really susceptible to that.
Your orders.
Fire on board, brace for impact.
At your command.
At your command.
Set all these guys to 9,000 on their range.
Ship ready. Course plotted. Orders received.
Your orders.
Your orders.
Try to get some of these torpedoes out there.
Understood.
Make him think about his maneuvering. Get this guy moving again just to keep
Awaiting
him
orders.
alive. Yeah, okay, that's gonna hurt. I bet he thankfully
Awaiting
missed a
orders.
lot of it. Hopefully we can
Your
trap him
orders.
here. Okay, he did Vols
Targeting
maneuver or
enemy
whatever it's
vessel.
called.
At your command.
Helm
Get this
coordinates
guy out of here,
acknowledged.
repaired. Get this guy repaired too.
Yes, Admiral.
Okay,
Awaiting
looks like he's
orders.
only got his lances.
All ahead full.
Bring these guys closer to the fight.
Cruising speed set. For the Emperor.
An escort.
Setting course.
Lose both our turrets, so we're gonna have to have him favor his starboard side. If not, he's not gonna do anything.
Yes, Admiral.
And let's see if we can't
Changing
ram with
course.
one of these escorts here.
Brace for impact. Ship ready.
We can get a
Understood.
ram off.
Awaiting orders. Underway.
You can see those pulsars very strong
At your command.
ships.
Initiate emergency repairs.
At your command.
And let's get a taunt off. On
Feel the wrath of the Imperial Navy.
Yes, Admiral.
Boom, there you go. Okay.
Engines hot.
Fire
Your
these
orders.
beasts and tries to get around.
Changing course.
Okay, so he's
Engaging.
trying
Acquiring new vector.
See if we can't get the ram off. Boom. That's alright. So there you go. That's how you fight some Eldar. I don't think he uses pulsars effectively that much. I think he would, if he would have waited for his cooldown and targeted my light cruiser, he probably would have honestly not annihilated it with a second spread from that pulsar and torpedoes at the same time. I didn't use my escorts as effectively as I should have. I should have rammed with a couple of them, but because they are, you can do a ton of damage that way, especially to their ships. But again, I think the best way to take on Eldar is with good use of escorts. If not, I don't know if it's necessarily a benefit to you to go at them with line ships, just because the line ships, as you can tell, are so much slower and difficult to maneuver. So we're going to drop another crew point into servitors, so that's going to bring us 8% cooldown time reduction. And let's unlock our cruisers slots here. So it looks like, I think they actually shortened the list. Maybe wasn't paying attention, but all right. So we have our 5 options here. Dictator comes with macro batteries and carrier. Carriers have actually kind of seemed like they might be good this time around. Gothic class, this guy's got 4 lance batteries, 2 on each side, always hit. So I don't know, I'm tempted to take it, but again, those dominators were so powerful in the beta that I did notice as I played, I think last night, that they made the Nova cannons much more inaccurate. So it might not be to our benefit to necessarily pick up a dominator. They're still pretty good in close combat, but I don't know. Let's see here. And then the lunar class, which has a mix of macro batteries and lance batteries, which is good in medium to long range guy here. This guy's 155, 145. Cheap to field the lunar too. Dictator is the most expensive, of course. I'm gonna try and go with a dominator and see how it goes. And if, quite frankly, if I don't think he's up to the job, I'm probably just gonna swap him out later on for another one. Then again, these ships usually work best in conjunction with another Nova cannon sporting cruiser. So for him, I'm gonna go with this skill. And then Void Shield transfer. He's going to be a support ship for the most part on the ones that I do deploy him. Alright, 300 points against an orc. Okay, let's do it. Let's take our cruiser. Let's take our stasis bomb, and it looks like that's all she wrote for us. So, I don't know. We'll see if this is a worthwhile combination. If I start to take a lot of damage on this cruiser, I'm probably going to warp out, because I certainly don't want to lose him and have to wait 2 turns to replace him. So that's what that is. Let's turn on our terrain AoE here. Lots of terrain on this map, pretty evenly spread out. So gonna do is we're gonna hopscotch from here to that other nebula over there. Try to use it to our benefit. I would have loved to have gotten a Widowmaker in this round as well. But hopefully the Sword of Deliverance can actually deliver a W on this one. This guy's clearly really thinking through his deployment. I imagine they're probably going to end up in here in this nebula cloud over he's got in his deployment zone.
Your orders?
Yeah. And
Going
go
silent.
That way he can't see us as blips right now. He's got no idea where we're at. He should assume that we're in that nebula. But he might not. And it might throw him off pretty well. Us showing up over there. So what we want to do is we want to save our Nova Cannon shot until one of these guys' shields are down. Okay. In order to do that, we're going to have the light cruiser go in first and do some work on their shields. So you can see he's kind of tentatively moving. I'm not really sure what it is that he's doing. He's just sitting there. This is an escort. Fired some torpedoes. There we go. Light cruiser right there. That gave us some time to kind of confuse the enemy. Don't really know what he's doing. Looks like he's now maneuvering to come towards us. Let me see if I can get him with a torpedo spread here in a second. That should get him moving. That should get him scrambling.
Yes, Admiral.
And instead what we're going to do is we're going to leave our Dominator out here. I'm tempted to think that this thing's moving so slow is probably a cruiser.
Ship ready.
We're gonna move him away.
Awaiting orders.
At your command.
So he's not gonna move. I'm gonna try and engage him, keeping this in between us so that again he'll either have to maneuver around or through it and do some damage to himself.
Your orders? Activating tactical cogitators.
What's the range on his
Awaiting orders.
shield buff right there? Once these torpedoes are passed. So I think he's trying to draw us in because he's got another one of his ships in here. Clearly that's Savage or Ravager, whichever the one is, which only has torpedoes.
Yes, Admiral.
And we're just gonna turn into it right there, and then we're gonna fire our own salvo at the side. We'll either have to move
Your orders?
or get hit. Like I said, my goal here is to get across to right
Admiral.
here and then detect them. Hopefully get them within my detection bubble, even if I have to Even if I have to go through the asteroid field a little bit to get the escort and then light him up with our macro cannons.
Ship ready.
This is where a good
Your orders?
a Widowmaker would have been useful to me, because I would have detected this guy and already started laying down fire. Okay,
Awaiting
so this is what
orders.
I'm gonna do. I'm gonna skirt.
At your command.
Fire some meltas, torpedoes at that guy.
Ship ready.
And then do this
At your command.
to ruin his day.
Your orders?
No.
At your command. Course plotted.
Looks like it was an escort.
Yes, Admiral. Your orders?
Now we're gonna try and get in, and Nebula's helping him out here. I want to get the detection range on him, but I don't want to fight near the Nebula where it's
Yes,
to his
Admiral.
advantage. And now it's to my advantage to keep my
Enemy
nose
ship
forward.
sighted.
So yeah, it looks like it's a Terror Cruiser there.
Ship ready.
So I'm gonna try and get off in boarding
Enemy
action.
ship sighted. Your orders?
Don't know. I guess the macro range. Just taunted my guy there.
Enemy ship sighted!
Awaiting orders.
And let's see if we can't draw out his light cruiser, and I'm gonna bring this guy over here.
Awaiting orders.
Bring it back to regular.
At your command.
At your command. Ship ready. Yes, Admiral.
So now we're isolating him a little bit. For some reason, my broadside hurt. Jeez.
Your orders?
And of course my enemies.
Yes, Admiral.
At your command. Yes, Admiral.
Let's see if we can get
At your command.
Awaiting orders.
Awaiting orders. Your orders? Ship ready.
So I'm gonna go ahead and call it because there's no
War
point in doing this
engines
fight.
active.
I've lost my Nova Cannon. This guy's weapons are wrecked. Hopefully I can get everybody out of the fight.
Enemy ship sighted.
So this right here and this little cool effect in the background means that the ship is lost in the warp. I think it's going to take one turn for basically one other game for him to come back, but that's alright since we have, you know, basically an identical guy there. But let's give him another servitor, and we've also got crew here, so another servitor. And let's, well, we can't afford any upgrades because I believe these guys are 100 renowned for upgrades. So, alright, let's go into another game. So far having the most difficult time dealing with orcs. They have, again, one of the strongest, basically, one of the strongest meta in the game with those boarding torpedoes and their assault actions. And as you can see, like, especially with the Imperial Navy, you can't really fire at anything, even with the cruisers at 9,000 kilometers. You're not going to hit, and you're not going to do enough damage. And without 2 Nova cannons to lay down fire, with just the one, you're going to have a difficult time getting that damage that you need. Once I can get another Dominator in here, it's a whole different story. It becomes much more difficult for the enemy to ignore that. So I'm going to try and level up this Dauntless Mark 1 that I have. I don't really want to bring out the Dominator for this fight, so I'm going to go with escorts and do 1 Widowmaker, 2 Firestorms, and a sword, and I guess I'll have to take a Cobra Destroyer. So we're going to be doing a convoy here, and I'm going to be defending, trying to get the transporters across the map. Usually this game mode is much easier on the defender's side because the transports are they're all right. They're going to be able to handle a good deal, but they'll take a lot of damage from mismanagement if you move them through asteroid fields and things of that nature. With a lot of escorts here, it's going to be easy to kind of hide where my transports are at. So I'm going to keep my transports together like that, along with my escorts, and then my 2 Dauntless will be out here. And okay, I'm ready. And these guys are just gonna go pell-mell out of there. These guys are gonna go
awaiting orders.
So it looks like we're dealing with a cruiser and
at your command,
a light cruiser. But let's find out for sure.
Yes,
I'm going to
Admiral.
put my escorts out here to
Enemy ship sighted!
Soak up and fire some of these torpedoes. And, well,
Your orders?
Ship ready!
Enemy ship sighted. Awaiting orders. At your command. Ship ready.
Your orders.
Ship ready.
Yes, Admiral. Feel the wrath of the Imperial Navy.
So obviously mismanaging my forces here. I got the majority of them stuck in stasis
Awaiting
bombs.
orders.
Using taunt on this guy should keep these dudes alive for a little longer, but honestly probably
At your
gonna lose
command.
this match.
Awaiting orders.
Yes, Admiral.
At your command.
Brace for impact!
So that's where the kind of the persistence of losing ships and gaining ships comes into play, because you're basically rolling through all the different mission styles that are in the single player game. On the multiplayer games, you don't have a choice of what you're going to play, which is why it's important to try and keep your ships alive from match to match, so that way you can basically not lose a whole ton of functionality from match to match. Because if you end up losing something like 3 ships, you're down to whatever is left, which is 1 ship of the line and a bunch of escorts, which isn't necessarily the best way to be. But all right, let's see here. Let's look at these macro cannons. What the range is on these. So the range is only 6,000. I don't really know why it even gives you the option then to target things at 9,000 when you have to buy an upgrade first to do that. It would be useful if the UI grayed that out when it doesn't necessarily make sense for your weapons loadout. In order to get them to that range, I'll need to have this turbo weaponry, which I'm not sure is the best use of this guy's. Then again, fitting is 100 renowned. I give Master Gunner to this guy just because he has the Prow Lance, and that does increase the chance for a critical strike. And I'm going to do this as well. Just going to help do damage to shields. I'm not going to get any upgrades for this dude. What I'm trying to do now is get enough renown to eventually unlock another cruiser slot so I can have 2 Dominators. I wonder if it's crashed out. It looks like it might be. No, we good? We good? We're not good? Doesn't look like we are. I have a feeling that this Nova Cannon probably got buffed a lot, or I should say nerfed. But I haven't really had a chance to check it out because most of the times first shot is going to go through the shields and you'll still have to wait. And for the most part, their shields are going to be back up by the time you get your second shot, and all you're going to do is knock their shields down again. So, like I said, these are much better used in conjunction with other Nova cannons. And it looks like the game crashed. So I guess we'll end there and we'll pick up later, guys. So this has been War Torn Future with a noobs series through Battlefleet Gothic Armada. Have a good day.